Welcome to the PTTS. Today's date is August 7, 2021, Saturday. My name is Nang Hong Lam. This video I'm gonna save San Diego some value and self-respect, and save myself some value and self-respect. This video is not gonna make it. It's not gonna be shown outside this house because of the things I'm gonna point out. So just want to say that I'm heading toward the path of the worst president in history. I have president positions to Mesa Multimedia Club from 2008 to 2011, and I have been the president of the company. I established it since 2012 until this point. Today's date is August 7, 2021, Saturday. So I just want to point it out that I'm heading toward that path to the worst president in history. I'm going to point out all the events which I have already pointed out many times in my articles, in the videos that I made. So, well, it started on 1993, which was just within years after I immigrated to the USA country on October 1992, and I made this decision to join the student service. And starting on that point, I had been walking to the school campus by myself, making that commitment to the student service, distant from people in my surrounding because of the commitments I had made to the student service. And also just felt like it was that starting point of creating conflict to my surrounding that could be argued as the arguments that was my starting point of creating conflict to my surrounding. So and then not knowing about the USA custom and traditions, I established the contact sports establishments in the Crown Point Elementary School, just thinking that there's a way to build up status by participating in the contact sport fights. That could argue as another argument, another conflict that I have created in my surrounding. And so all of this that I'm pointing out, I have talked about in the PTTS Sessions video that I made. And then like a lot of time, just because I felt that afraid of getting rejected by my surrounding, my family, and things like that. I remember was pointed out that in these PTTS sessions that there was rarely people showed up. I think it just because of the fear of rejection. I don't know, just if people might have hurt me making these videos. Other than that, it's just like physically, like people don't show up to these sessions. That was my fear of rejection, saying that rarely people show up to these sessions. Just maybe they heard of the things I'm saying on these sessions. That's all I could say. Just haven't really seen anyone show up to these sessions. Just maybe they could hear me making these sessions. So I've been saying like rarely people. Because of my fear of rejections, I use the line that rarely people show up to these PTTS sessions. So I'm pointing out these events is that why I'm heading toward the worst president in the USA, in the world, the worst president in the world. So a lot of these events, as I have pointed out in my articles in the PTTS Sessions video that I have made, and then well, it was so happened that I won all my contact sport fights that I established. It felt that I have built up my status from the contact sport status that I have won all those fights from 1993 to 1999. In a way, it felt like there was that self-esteem from winning all those fights. And then after I committed to TSG commitments on 1999, that's when I even distanced myself further away from my surrounding, putting most of my time in my schedule into my TSG commitments. And at that point, I have served at the most student service positions. I have did the most house chores at my houses. So it was really that noticeable things that is happening to my life, that I've been putting a lot of my time and distancing myself away from my surrounding, and all that time is put into my TC commitments. So, and there were events that would be like embarrassment, and so like Mrs. Atwell was trying to show the class the Mr. Toes traditions, remember, which I didn't really know much about the Mr. Toes tradition at the time. So I remember was putting the Mr. Toe on top of Myra, my classmate, and I was supposed to kiss Myra according to the Mr. Toe tradition. I remember it was just didn't go through with that, and then Ms. Atwell was scrolling at me and took me out of the classroom, was explaining to me I was supposed to go through with the whole traditions. And I remember just didn't say anything, and then that was one of the events. And then Mrs. Hove, I was holding, Ms. Hove teaches the highest math class available in the Pacific Beach Middle School, and I was holding the record for having the most 100% math test courses. And then there was one time I got a B+ math test score. B+ is barely below 90%, so Ms. Ho pointed that out to the whole I made the phone call to my house, it was penalized me in front of the whole class. So, and then, I invited Edgar Arenas to my birthday, and Edgar, in a way, cheated me on the contact sport establishment. Felt like, and in my article I pointed out because I want to make that mutual, but in a way it's an embarrassment. It's like inviting people who cheated me to my birthday party, because Edgar Arenas and 2 other students ambushed me instead of participating in the contact sport establishment. They ambushed me, and remember there was a fight broke out, and after I beat him up, I remember afterward, I invited Edgar Arenas to my birthday. It was just an embarrassment of inviting someone who cheated me to my birthday party. And then Daisy Sanchez, Mario Sanchez and me, we became, not long after I attended the Pacific Beach Middle School, I've been hanging out with Mario Sanchez and her cousin Daisy Sanchez. There was some kind of conflict going on, and remember there was this incident with Daisy Sanchez. Remember, it's there was a misunderstanding, some kind of commotion going on. I remember Daisy, hands, touched, kind of slapped at my face, in the cafeteria while I was doing my student service, working in the cafeteria, remember, and it was a whole scene broke out. Remember, Mario Sanchez and Edgar Sanchez was telling me, was apologizing, for Daisy overacting. So, I remember it was just really, it was embarrassment. It was right in the cafeteria with all those students and things like that. So that whole embarrassment there, and hearing Mario Sanchez and Edgar Sanchez making those apologies, and also so those was them, and then so it's just I've been distancing myself more and more, and it's just I have all these embarrassment in my life. So I just want to point out I'm heading to the worst president in the history, and I just want to point out and giving San Diego some self-respect and value, and giving myself some self-respect and value, knowing that this video would not be out published, people would not see this